Hey guys, welcome to another video brought to you by GTNeutral.com, and today we're looking at For Honor. The game is set to release within the next 2 weeks on February the 14th, 2017. This was announced all the way back in 2015 and sort of went into closed beta for this weekend, so I had a chance to play the game and I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys, the different game modes that exist, the graphics, etc., and how the gameplay is. So in the background, I'm playing the Dominion mode, which is the 4 versus 4 mode for this game, and the idea is to capture the different zones. So there's 3 zones, A, B, and C, and I'm about to come up against my first player fight. So here's another player. He's playing as a samurai, as you can see. I am playing as a knight. So one of the things you guys should notice is as he's about to attack, a red icon appears on the screen, and that tells you which side he's about to attack on. Right, top, left, and that sort of gives you an indication of where you have to block. So I'm about to take him down. I got pretty lucky. This was my first fight, so I took him down there. Basically, I would say you have just under a second of reaction time available, and as you sort of react, the game, let me put it this way, the game gives you sufficient time to react to enemy attacks. However, there's a couple of different tactics you gotta sort of keep in mind. So if you notice, under the health bar of each of the players is a green bar. That is your stamina. If your stamina runs out, the game screen sort of starts fading to black and white, and that tells you that if your opponent attacks, you may not have enough stamina to be able to block all their attacks. So you want to be able to sort of make sure that at all points in time you have a sufficient amount of stamina available. Okay, so now I wanted to show you guys what 1 versus 1 looks like in this game, and this is probably the more intense sort of game mode that's available. And in this game, again, I was facing up against one of the samurai players, and this has 5 rounds, so you've got to play best of 5. And you know what? I've played a couple of them. This was my second one that I was playing at the time. The first one went to the 5th round and I lost, and this one, you guys will see how it turns out. But yes, these games can be really, really close. You might think it's surprising that, okay, well, you just have to block the enemy attacks. It's not that simple. There's always that 1 or 2 mistakes that the players end up making, whether it's you or them, and that gives an opening to the other player to sort of attack them. Other than that, each of the characters, so the game sort of comes with 3 main classes, if you want to call it that: the Knights, Samurais, and the Vikings, which I'm pretty sure all of you knew. Each of them then have 3 playable characters. So each of those classes has 3 playable characters with slightly different play styles. So for example, the Vikings will have the 3 characters, and one of them is sort of carrying a large 2-handed axe, one of them is carrying a sword and an axe, and the third one is just dual wielding 2 different axes. So that sort of makes it quite interesting. Some of the characters are slower than others. So this knight that I'm playing right now sort of has a counter move. So every time a player attacks you from the top, you can quickly use your light attack to sort of counter them. This counter is not 100% guaranteed, by the way. If the other player backs out, you sort of miss it. But that's probably one of my favorite moves right now, because I always use it. It gives me a quick attack to sort of lash at them again. So in this game, there are those differences. It's not something that I see is gonna get boring. I just don't see that happening. This is quite a fun game. I've been playing For Honor all weekend at this point, and you know what, it runs extremely well. So here's one of the things you saw where the screen sort of went to black and white, and that gave him an opportunity to sort of chase me and attack me. Eventually, sort of, I realized that even though it goes to black and white, if you sort of play okay and keep the defense on, you should be able to survive, unless this guy, unless the opponent sort of goes all out on you, and you don't have enough stamina to block all his attacks. And if you sort of back out, run away for a second, your stamina fills up a lot quicker than staying in defense mode. So here I lost this round again. So now I'm 2-0 down, and this guy is doing extremely well. And in this specific instance, I must say that, you know, I was sort of thrown off a little bit. Like, I wasn't expecting this guy. He was quite good, and I hadn't played a lot. This was my second one-on-one game in For Honor. But you know what? I sort of learned his playstyle. He's a little aggressive, so every time he goes at it all out. He'll do the full 3 combo sort of attack. And then I started blocking more. I was like, you know what? I've got to play a defensive game here and only attack when there's an opportunity. And then sort of take it from there. So as you can see, I'm sort of hitting him, and then all of a sudden I lost all my stamina, and that's one thing I'm bad at, you know, at least initially. I didn't pay much attention to that green bar, and I always used to be shocked every time the screen faded to black and white, but I've sort of started realizing that now. The one thing I must say, by the way, if you guys haven't already noticed, I'm playing on the PC. Obviously I'm using one of the Xbox controllers, but I'm playing on the PC, and I have a GTX 1070 graphics card, the Founders Edition, and this game automatically set itself to extreme graphics settings. Everything's maxed out, and it's running smooth. It is locked at 60 frames per second, and I don't see it drop. So it is extremely well optimized, and as you can see, the graphics are fantastic. You know, this game looks really, really good. So yeah, kudos to Ubisoft for getting that sorted. And you know what? To be honest with you, I think this game is going to turn out to be one of those esports games. I don't see why not. I think there can be an esports around this, not only on the 1v1 side, but also on the Dominion side, where it's a team of 4 versus 4. There is another game mode, 2 versus 2 Brawl. I have not tried that out, but yeah, I'll be sure to try that out this weekend sometime, but I'm sure it's a little bit more difficult, because 2 versus 2 isn't too easy. Like, if you end up playing Dominion, and you guys, I'm sure instances will arise where a lot of the enemy players sort of focus on you guys, and as a solo Viking or Knight or whatever you're playing, and that situation becomes extremely difficult, because as you can see, you sort of lock on to one player. You can't switch, you know, you can switch from one to the other, but generally you lock on to one player, and you've got to keep an eye on their attacks and which direction they're attacking from to be able to sort of block. So the moment you sort of get surrounded by 2 or even more players, if you can get out and run to your teammates. And again, you also end up in situations where it's 2 or 3 of you guys, or the people on your team, sort of ganging up on one person or 2 players, and that's quite an easy kill, to be honest with you. So yeah, I mean, this game is extremely fun. It looks more complicated than it is. It is really not hard to learn. Before I got this game, I was like, wow, you know, this looks complicated. I don't know if I'm going to be good at it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sort of handle this constant pressure and being able to block in time. You know, it's not that hard. As you can see, I'm on extremely low health in this round, and if I lost this one, I would have lost. But you know, if you keep your cool, if you sort of watch out for their attacks, you can do this, because you'll see just now there's a significant amount of damage I just did there. So literally one hit or one combo can bring you back in the fight, right? So it's not all about giving up. There's no reason to give up, and all you have to do is watch out for your stamina bar, watch out for where the attacks are coming from, take it slow, and you can beat the enemy. Couple of other things to take note of is there's some characters in the game that can sort of auto heal. Also, if you're playing control the zone sort of rounds, if you control a zone and you stand in there, your character heals up. So if you're low on health, run there and heal yourself up. And you know, also some of the characters, actually all of them, eventually sort of build up your revenge meter, and that sort of gives you a quick attack mechanism to sort of unleash some sort of an attack. Some players, their revenge sort of knocks them off, knocks other players to the ground, and then you can sort of quickly get a few attacks in. So, there's quite a bit of variety as you want to try it out. Oh, by the way, I sort of fell there. You can fall off, so that is a loss if you do fall off. So that got pretty close. I would have been very upset if I did. So going back to what I was saying, there is quite a bit of variety. The different characters, the different movesets, the different revenge mechanisms that every character has. There is quite a bit of variety, and I think it really is going to take some skill to get good at this game. One of the things I would love to see is Ubisoft sort of bring in a ladder mode. So, people can, not only for 1v1, but also Dominion, where people can sort of get ranked into different leagues, gold, etc. So that was his revenge attack you guys just saw, and I saw it coming, so I sort of backed out of it. And here is where I take him down. He got very careless. He saw I was on low health, and he went all out, and he messed up. So I got lucky, but you know what? The win was mine. I sort of fought my way through it, even though I was 2 down. One of the things I quickly wanted to show you guys is something I wasn't expecting, and that is the ability to customize characters in this game. So here's all the heroes that I've been referring to. I'm going to show you, as you play more games and you level up, you unlock a few things. So as you can see here, you can change his chest, helm, and every sort of item has its specs. So you can see this helm provides me more stamina. So I've sort of equipped a new helm. This is also the screen where you guys unlock other characters. So I've unlocked, by the way, just to show you another one. So here's a different sword type blade that I've unlocked for my samurai. And every item has its own properties. So this is where you unlock all the different characters, as you can see. And this is through in-game currency, guys. You don't need to spend actual money to unlock these, or at least that's my understanding, because I used in-game currency. So every one of these characters cost 500, and each of them has a different sort of playstyle. As you can see, I have just over 2,000, so I'm going to start unlocking some characters. Funny enough, as I was sort of recording this video, I realized, hey, this is where I unlock the new characters. Okay, great, let's go for it. So I've just unlocked a Conqueror, and I think I try to unlock a different one in each of the 3 classes. So here's one I unlocked. So this is the one I was talking about, 2 axes. And then for the samurais, I tried to unlock one as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I wanted to show you all of that and sort of talk you through For Honor and how it looks and how it works. It's a lot of fun. I am 100% buying this game. If you haven't made your choice yet, please go ahead and buy it.